All right, it's that time of year. A lot of kids are now back in school, and that means parents and caregivers will want to add routine immunizations to their checklist. Holly's down in the ARC Lounge this morning with Washington State Secretary of Health, Dr. Umair Shah. Hey, guys.
Hi, Steve. Thanks so much. Dr. Shah, thank you so much for coming in. This is your first time into KOMO News ARC Seattle.
It is. I'm excited about this. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we've interviewed you a lot over Zoom, a lot in your office, but this is your first time in studio.
That is true. That is true.
Welcome, welcome. All right, let's start with, what do parents and caregivers need to check out when it comes to back-to-school immunizations? What do they need to know?
Yeah, I think the first thing is that we want to think about immunizations as a prevention tool, right, that allows both parents as well as kids, the entire family, the whole ecosystem of health to be healthy, right, to protect themselves against illness. Now, there are so many vaccines that are back-to-school vaccines that kids will already be getting, or they have already gotten, or they're not going to be in school, unfortunately. So they're going to have to get those caught up through their health provider, through a trusted health provider, through the school nurse. But we're also thinking about flu vaccine coming up, and COVID vaccine, and RSV. There are certain kinds of vaccines that are really key for people to continue to be healthy and safe and protected. But I think the message is also, this is a stressful time for parents, right? And you know, I know my kids, like they're trying to rush to school in the morning. We're trying to get breakfast on the table. We're trying to do all the different things that we need to do to make them healthy and safe. And that means getting them in routines for not just vaccinations, but back to school and homework and making sure they're getting sleep and they're doing vitamins. They're doing all sorts of things so that they are protected and they're safe and they're healthier, so they're ready for whatever may come their way.
And eating those healthy meals too.
That's right.
Why is it so important that caregivers and parents stay up to date on immunizations?
Yeah, it is such an important question, right? Because we have fallen behind, partially because of the pandemic, but also because we've had this real concern around the country that people are saying that we're losing some of the vaccination progress that we have made. And why that's important is that when you start to drop the vaccine coverage, whether it's for the individual in a school or number of kids in a school or in a school district or in an area, guess what happens? You start to get those diseases. So we haven't seen these diseases, right? But now we're seeing measles, and we're seeing, mumps and other kinds of diseases that are actually now coming back. And we're saying, well, what's happening? It's because kids are not as vaccinated as before.
Yeah, what else would you say to parents that are feeling just a little unsure about getting their child vaccinated?
Yeah, I'm saying talk to your healthcare provider. Talk to a trusted healthcare provider. As a physician, I say this all the time, right? Talk to the people who know about vaccines. Get the right information, get the appropriate information, get the correct information, and make that decision for yourself as well as your child to protect everybody around you.
Yeah, it's not just kids. That's right. Fall is almost here, and that means yearly shots, boosters for adults too. What do people need to know about shots for, let's say, RSV? You mentioned that, COVID-19, flu shots, anything else people need to know? Can you do those all at once?
You can, and I think what the key message is that your healthcare provider is going to know those things. And so make sure you, one, have a healthcare provider, a trusted healthcare provider, and then you make those appointments, because we've had a lot of kids that have fallen behind on appointments as well. The other thing is that we've been really talking through about this importance of health and like holistic health, right? And so for us, holistic health is all about what are the kinds of things that we're doing. We launched very recently, I brought you an apple here, Be Well Wah, right? This is our Be Well Wah apple. We're excited about this, right? We have had so much energy around this. We had a launch in downtown Seattle. We had a launch in Spokane. And what this is this health and wellness initiative around four things, four pillars, four key issues: movement, nourishment, emotional well-being, and social connection. And sometimes we're finding that we're more connected with somebody with our devices across the globe than we are across the table. We're asking people to think about what is responsible amount of use of these, especially for our kids, and what are the kinds of things that we want to do to make sure they're moving more, to make sure that what they're taking in, whether it's hydration or food or what have you, is not going to be negative towards their health. And then we want their mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being to be strong. So this is Be Well Wah. This is what we're super excited about. And so we've got the website, bewellwah.org, and we're really excited about people thinking about this. So the package of immunizations, prevention, and putting that all together with sleep and nourishment and moving and your emotional well-being, putting devices down, things like that, all comes into saying, how am I healthier today than I was yesterday, and how do I set myself up for an even healthier tomorrow? That's what it's all about.
What do you hope comes out of the Be Well Washington campaign?
Yeah, what I'm super excited about this.
I
And
can
it's
tell,
a passion.
'cause you've
Right?
got the
I got the apple.
and
I've got
that's
there
what a
you go.
little stress
There you go.
ball.
Stress ball. It's a
Squeeze it. Yep.
yeah. There you go. There you go. It's at least it's not a heart. So you're like, oh gosh, yeah.
right,
We don't
yeah,
squeeze the heart. Yeah.
And an apple fits Washington.
That's
right.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, we had the Apple Cup on Saturday, and I wound up having to do some push-ups.
Oh, we're gonna get to that in a second.
Yeah, I
Hold
was a
on.
little worried about
don't say
that. So I
anything
didn't
yet.
know if you were gonna make me do some. So
We're
just
gonna-
in case I put a jacket on, so you wouldn't ask.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to put you on the spot in a second. But what do you hope comes out of the Be Well Walk?
What I'm really
campaign?
hopeful is that people do every single day something, right? What we're saying, our motto is find your apple, whatever your apple is, right? If it's I'm going to read more today, I'm going to, move more today, I'm going to change my habit on something that hasn't been healthy for me or my family today. What we're saying is find your apple every single day, get a routine, be consistent with it, and continue to persist, because it gets hard, as you know, when we work out or we, even if we make a change to how much I'm going to move around when I'm in the office and, moving in a chair, all these things are difficult to sustain. So when it gets hard, we want you to continue to stay persistent, and that's gonna set you up for a healthier journey.
And it's not just the physical aspect. You mentioned mental health too.
That's right.
Talk about the mental health situation in our state right now and why this campaign is so important for mental health.
No, it's such a great question, right? Because we know we've got challenges with mental health, especially for our young kids. Surgeon General had some many reports that have come out. One of the reports was on loneliness, right? We're more connected, but in some sense we're more lonely than we were previously with all these devices that are giving us challenges. The devices are causing some of the social media aspects that are giving, especially our kids, some of the real challenges about how do they fit in, or bullying and all these other aspects. We want to make sure that they're also, and parents are also protecting their kids. And then this real concern around the use of devices, social media, but also what's it doing to emotional well-being, right? So this is where it all comes in, because now, sometimes folks are now turning to some, opioids or alcohol or some other substance that's not good for them, and that gets them in trouble. And we want people to say, what is it about my emotional well-being that's not about just staying away from things or limiting them, but how can I be holistically well? And that's what this is all about.
Okay, Dr. Shah, thank you so much. Thanks for coming in. Be Well Wah. And also, real quick, Steve, we've just got to share your push-ups that you did during the Apple Cup. How many did you do? You did them with mascots. We don't have a lot of time, so we got to get this in quick.
I will say I did at least one.
You did one. Okay, but you were rooting for the Cougs. You were rooting for the Cougs, right?
That I'm not going to answer. Whoever got the most apples, that's who won.
Deflecting.
Okay. We're going to say go Cougs, all right?
That's right.
Steve, back to you.
Thanks, Holly. Thanks, Dr. Shah. Appreciate it.